In this project, we will create end-to-end data engineering pipeline. Our raw data is stored on GitHub. First, we will create data ingestion pipeline using Azure Data Factory. Then we will ingest that raw data in our data lake inside bronze container. Then we will connect to Azure Databricks and we will perform transformations using PySpark. Then we will load that transform data in silver container. Then we will design data warehouse using Synapse Analytics. Inside this we will create schema, views, external tables. Then we will write that external table to gold container. Finally, we will connect our data pipeline with Power BI and create some interactive dashboards. And these are the notes I will be using in this project. So if you want to follow along with me, download these notes. Link is in the description. See, these steps and all will be easily available on Google. But the most important thing you need to ask while learning any project is why. WHY, why. Why we are doing this thing, why we are performing this step. In my notes, we have one student called Thor. He has one good habit. Before performing any step, he would always ask why. Why we are performing this particular step. I will be giving answer to his questions. And because of this, you will also understand the motive or purpose behind each and every step. So if possible, get these notes. Link is in the description. And if you can like and comment on this video, I would really appreciate it. I would be really grateful to you. So without any further delay, let's get started. So the first and the most important thing is you should have an account. Okay, you should have Microsoft Azure free account. So just search this on Google or visit this link. Then click on this, enter your email, sign up, and then visit here portal.azure.com. Okay, after that we can start working on our project. He is Thor, he is our student. He will ask us many questions for this project. Now the first question which he is asking is which data we will use for this project. Okay, so just visit this link and download this dataset as zip and extract files like this. Just visit here and you need to download it. It will be in the zip format. Just extract it. Okay, now we need to create a GitHub repository and upload all the data to GitHub. Okay, so you can just follow these steps. So I will show you. I have already created this repository, Airbnb dataset OT. There I have created this folder, and inside this I have uploaded this CSV file. Okay, now Thor is asking, in this project I will use many Azure services, right? But after the completion of project I will delete them, okay, to stop the cost. But I don't want to visit them one by one and delete. I just want to delete them all at once. Okay, so basically he is asking, is there any way like folder, inside that folder I can just store all my services, and if I want to delete them I will just delete that folder, okay, all at once. No need to visit one by one. We can just delete all the services by deleting that folder only. So yes, the answer is we can create a resource group in Azure. Okay, then delete the resource group at the end of the project. So let's do that. So we will search resource groups. Okay, so this is our Azure portal. Just search recent services resource groups. Okay, and then create resource group name would be this. This was my older resource group, so just ignore that. Create, keep the subscription as it is. Resource group name would be, just copy it, Airbnb project. Paste, region East US, keep it as it is, and then next and create. So just click on next, next, and create. Resource group key created. Okay. Now Thor is asking, I know you are using some sample dataset for this project. Okay. But he is asking, where will you store it? The answer is, I will create a storage account in Azure and I will store it there. So let's quickly create a storage account. This storage account is nothing but a data lake. Okay, this is data lake. So from homes, search the storage account, go to home page, search this storage account. It is already there in my recent services. Subscription is default. Resource group is your storage account name. Think first I need to click on create, which I haven't mentioned in my notes. So no worries, we will update the notes on the go. Create subscription, resource group, storage account name. This I need to keep in bullets. Okay. So click on create. Keep the subscription as it is. Resource group Airbnb project. Okay. We had just created it in earlier step. Storage account name. We will copy it from here. We will keep it OT Airbnb Data Lake. OT stands for often train. This is my YouTube channel name. Okay, OT. OT Airbnb Data Lake, just copy it. Region East US. Preferred storage type. Primary service. Where is primary service? Okay, I think it has updated the name. It is now called preferred storage type. So I will quickly update my notes. So preferred storage type is Azure Blob Storage or Data Lake Storage Gen2. So select that. Azure Blob Storage. Okay. Performance is standard. Redundancies, let's check. Redundancies LRS. Okay. Locally redundant storage. So select LRS. Next. So next we will just take this hierarchical namespace. Okay, this will convert our storage into data lake. So it is very compulsory. So advantage of data lake is we can create subfolders. Okay, directory like structure. That's why we should always pick this hierarchical namespace. So just take it. Access tier hot and next. Where is access tier? This is hot already. And next. Now network access, enable public access from all networks. Okay, so this is just sample project, but in real world companies you will have your own private access. But for this project we will just enable public access from all networks. Public network access enable. Okay, public network access scope from all networks. This is already ticked. Review and create. So that's it. Review plus create. Then just click on create. Deployment is complete. That means we have successfully created our data lake or storage account. So now Thor is asking, in Azure Data Factory, I am working on multiple projects. So I need separate space for each project. Can we have it? So answer is yes. We will create a separate workspace for separate projects inside Azure Data Factory. So let's create that workspace. So we will search Data Factory inside Azure portal. So this is our home page. We can search Data Factory. Data factories. Okay. Then what? Click on create. Keep the subscription as it is. Give the resource group name. Create. Subscription as it is. Our resource group was Airbnb project which we created 5 minutes ago. And the name of our workspace would be Airbnb Data Factory Open Train. Copy, paste. Region would be this. Version v2, keep it as it is. Review plus create. Then go to our resource group and launch studio. Review and create. Now click on create. Okay, our deployment is completed. Now go to resource. Data Lake. Airbnb project. This is our resource group, but where is our Azure Data Factory workspace. So I think we need to refresh. Yes, it is there. This is our Data Factory workspace. Click on it. And then we will click on Launch Studio. All right. Now let's go to Author tab from sidebar. Sidebar. Where is Author tab? Home, Author. The second one. Okay. Now Thor is asking, bro, you were saying that you will keep both raw and transform data in data lake. Okay, that is correct. But how will you separate them? Okay, you don't want to mix that. So how will you separate? So answer is inside our data lake we can create three different folders or three different containers. So there we will store raw data, transform data and aggregated data for business analytics. Okay, so let's quickly do that. So we will create three containers in our data lake or storage account. So as of now, keep this data factory workspace as it is. Now we can go to home, go to our resource group, Airbnb project, go to storage account, this one OT, Airbnb data lake. Now from this left sidebar, go to this data storage tab and from there go to containers. Now click on add container. What are the three different containers which we will add? Bronze, silver, gold. Add container. Bronze. Create. Created. Now create two more. Second one would be silver. Create. Add container. Third one would be gold. Create. Okay, now we have three different containers where we will store three different types of data. Our raw data will be stored in this container. Transform data will be stored in this container in packet format. And our external tables we will store in this container, which will be ready for analytics, which will contain business level logics. Okay. Now it's finally time to create static data ingestion pipeline, after which our raw CSV files from GitHub will be ingested into data lake bronze container. Okay. So let's quickly do that. So again, Thor is asking, what is the name of the pipeline, bro? So for that, let's create new pipeline workspace. Continue to author tab in ADF Studio. ADF means Azure Data Factory. Author tab, left sidebar, click on three dots in front of pipeline toggle. So this is our author, no. This is our author tab. Okay, this is pipeline option. Now click on these three dots, new pipeline. And inside this properties box you can give name. Name of the pipeline is OT Git to SA, means often train Git to storage account. Okay, we are ingesting from Git to storage account. You can keep this name anything which you want. Okay, so this is the name of the pipeline which is done. Now we can hide this property box like this. Now to actually ingest the data, we will need to create an activity inside pipeline. Okay, first we will create pipeline. Inside that we will create activity. So let's do that. And again Thor is asking what is the name of the activity and what is the type of activity. Okay, so name would be this and type would be copy activity, because we want to copy the data from GitHub to data lake. So let's quickly do that. In move and transform option, in activities tab, copy data, just we need to select this and drag and drop to canvas. Okay, this is from activities list. This is move and transform option, but this is little bit confusing. I will improve the notes. Activities list, move and transform. Okay, this is fine. So in this move and transform, this copy data activity is there. We just need to drag and drop to canvas like this, and then it is already selected. Then we can give name to this activity here. What is the name of the activity? OT copy raw Airbnb data. Activity name is this, paste. Alright, so our activity has been created. Now Thor is asking 4 questions. He's saying, I know nothing about this source. Please give me some information. Okay, you and I know that our source is GitHub. But how would this Azure Data Factory will understand that? Okay, he does not have brain. So he is asking 4 questions. What is the name of your linked service for source? What is the type of your linked source? Okay, what is the type of your source? What is the URL of your source? Okay, your GitHub will have URL, right? So he is asking what is the URL? And obviously GitHub and this Azure Data Factory, these are two different systems. So how will they communicate with each other so that it can ingest GitHub file into data lake? Okay, some connection needs to be there, then only it can bring that file, right? So he is asking how can I authenticate with the source? All right. So to answer all these questions, we will create a linked service for our source, which is GitHub. Okay. There are two objects, right? Source and destination. So this our data ingestion in this our data ingestion pipeline, Azure Data Factory doesn't know anything about your source, and Azure Data Factory does not know anything about your destination. So it will ask many questions related to source and destination. So for this we will create two linked services, one for source and one for destination, which is this data lake. So first we will create link service for our source, which is GitHub. So quickly do that. In manage tab, linked services, new. Where is manage tab? This is home, this is author, this is monitor, this fourth one icon is manage. Okay, go to manage. See, inside these connections, the first tab is linked service. Click on create linked service. Now what is our data store? Data store is HTTP. Okay, so I haven't written here data source equal to HTTP. For GitHub, we use HTTP as our data source. So just search that, select HTTP, continue. What is the name of your link service? This one, link service for HTTP. Copy, paste. Uh, paste. What am I doing here? Copy. Now paste. Okay. So what is base URL? Base URL means in our GitHub repository, we will click on file, then we will click on raw, and then this URL till .com slash, okay, address till .com and slash. We will click on repository, then we will click on data folder, then we will click on the file name. This is our file raw copy address till .com. So I will quickly show you that. So this is our repository. Okay. Inside this data folder, click on this CSV file name, then click on this raw. Now in this address, till .com and slash is our base URL. .com slash. So just copy it and we can paste it here, I guess. Base URL, paste. Authentication type is anonymous. Test connection. Authentication type is keep it anonymous, and test connection. Okay, connection is successful. Now we can click on create. Create. Okay. Now Thor is asking information about our destination, which is data lake. We know that, but Azure Data Factory does not know that. So first question is, what is the name of your link service for destination? What is the type of destination? What is the name of destination? And how can I authenticate with the destination? Okay. So how can GitHub authenticate with data lake? So for this, we will have to create link service for data lake, which is our destination. So quickly do that. Manage tab, link service, new Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Okay, we are already on the manage tab, linked service. Click on new, and then here we will search Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Just select that. Click on continue. Name of our link service will be linked service for data lake. Paste it here. Authentication type is account key. Storage account name. Okay. For this, you will need to select our storage account name, means our data lake name. Okay. So, which is OT Airbnb data lake. Authentication type is this. Azure subscription is. I'll keep it just as it is. Storage account name would be OT Airbnb data lake. Test connection to linked service. Test connection to linked service. Test create. Test connection to linked service. Test. Connection successful, and now we can create. Okay, let me check one more time. Link service for data lake account key. Alright, we can create. So our second linked service for data lake is also created. Now again Thor is asking 4 questions. He's asking what is the type of your source system? What is the type of data in your source file? Which linked service you will use? And what is the URL of your actual data, which is relative URL. Okay. So these 4 questions he is asking. We know the answer to these 4 questions. Okay. But he doesn't know it. So we will have to create source data for this, so that all these 4 questions will be answered. Continue to author tab in ADF Studio. Click on copy activity, source tab, create source dataset new. Okay, we will do this much. Where is our ADF Studio? Where is our Azure Data Factory Studio? Okay, this is only, but we will have to go to author tab. Okay, we are on the author tab. Now we need to select this copy activity, then click on source, click on create new, means create data set. Now our source system is HTTP. Okay, for GitHub we use HTTP. I already told you, and file format would be CSV. Okay, it is stored, currently it is stored in CSV format. Then continue. So let's search HTTP. Format would be CSV. Continue. The name of the source dataset would be OT DS for HTTP. It means dataset for HTTP. Paste it. Which link service you will use? The one which we created for GitHub. That means linked service for HTTP. Okay. Now I had explained you what is base URL. Base URL was till .com. Then what is relative URL? Relative URL is everything after .com slash. Okay. See this. For example, this is the URL .com slash. Then everything after that will be relative URL. But you will have to click on the file name and raw. before copying that data. I will show you one more time. So this is our data folder where our CSV file is present. So click on the CSV file, click on raw. No, now I don't know it is visible or not, but I will show you. Everything after .com slash means from often drain, we will copy everything. Copy and then we will paste the relative URL here. Paste. Okay. Import schema is none. Click on OK. Import schema is none. Click on OK. Now if you click on preview data, you should see your data. Okay. So this is how we create source data set. Now Thor is asking questions about our destination data set. It is also called sync data. Okay. Sync is nothing but destination. So he is asking what is the type of destination system? We know that it is data lake, but Azure Data Factory doesn't know it. So we will have to create the sync data set to answer all these questions. Second question is what is the type of data in destination file? Which link service you will use for authentication? And what will be the folder path of your destination? We know that we will use bronze container. Okay, inside our data lake, inside bronze container, we will store the raw data. So for this we will have to create sync data set, and inside that sync data we will give answer to all these questions. So let's do that. Click on copy activity, click on sync tab, sync dataset, new data storage, Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So go to this sync folder, click on new, then search Azure Data Lake Gen Storage Gen 2, continue, and what will be the file format there? It is raw data, so we will just store it in CSV only, and when we will transform we will use Parquet format. But as of now, let's keep the raw data as it is inside our bronze container. And now what is the name of this sync dataset? OTDS4 data lake. That means often train dataset for data lake. Okay, one white space was there. See, you have to copy till this only. If you copy like this, if you put white space, empty space, then it will show error. So what will be the link service? The one which we created for our destination, which is link service for data lake. This one. File path is bronze container, and we will keep the folder name as this Airbnb, and we will keep the file name as this. Okay. So inside our data lake, Destination would be this bronze container. Okay, inside this bronze container we will create one folder called Airbnb, and we will give the file name as airbnb.csv. airbnb.csv. First row as headers, we have to tick this. Okay, first row as headers is tick, import schema is none, and okay. Import schema is none and okay. So our seeing data set is also ready. Now using this source data set and seeing data set, this Azure Data Factory workspace now has enough information about your source and destination. Okay. Now look at this overview. First we created pipeline, then we created activity inside that pipeline. Then inside that activity we created linked service for our source. Okay, which gave answers to all the questions related to the source. Then we created link service for data lake, means destination, which answered all the questions related to our destination. Then we created source data set, and then we created seeing data set. Okay, now finally it's time to debug and run our pipeline so that data will be ingested from GitHub to our data lake, Azure Data Lake, inside bronze container. So we will debug and we will run. Click on debug. We can just collapse this. We can collapse this as well. And we can hide this properties box. Pipeline status succeeded. Congratulations. We have successfully ingested our data from GitHub to data lake, and I will show you that. Now if you check this bronze container, data will be ingested in this bronze container. Okay, you can check this. Inside this Airbnb folder, our CSV file will be present. Okay. Now we have created this data ingestion pipeline. Now we just need to publish all so that our work will be saved inside our Azure Data Factory workspace. Okay, so we will save it. Not save it, publish it. So publish all and publish. Okay, publishing completed. Now phase 1 of the project is completed. It's time to start phase 2 of the project, which is transformations using Azure Databricks. So Thor is asking, in Azure Databricks, I am working on multiple projects. So I need separate space for my each project. So answer is all right. We'll create separate workspace for our current project in Azure Databricks. So let's do that. Go to home page, create a resource, search Azure Databricks. Go to our home page, which will be uh, here, not here. Yeah, here, home. Create a resource. Search Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. This first one, click on it. Okay. So click on create resource group. We will select our resource group. Workspace name would be this, often train Airbnb Databricks. So copy it. So click on create. Resource group would be this Airbnb project. Workspace name would be, just paste it. Region would be East US. Pricing tier, keep premium because we are going to use role based access control. So it is premium. Managed resource group name, we can keep it like this, managed often train Airbnb project. So copy it. Next networking, next encryption, next security, next tags, review plus create. Next security, next tags, next review plus create. Then go to our resource and launch workspace. Click on create. So our deployment is completed. Now go to resource. Then we will click on this launch workspace. So this is our workspace. I will zoom it so it will be visible to you. Alright, so we have created this workspace. Now Thor is asking, we know that for our transformations we will use Apache Spark. But Apache Spark or PySpark needs group of computers, okay? Because it processes data parallelly. So it needs group of computers or group of virtual machines. And currently we don't have any. So the answer is we don't have any, but we will create one. Okay, we will create a cluster which is a group of virtual machines in Databricks so that we can process our data using PySpark. So let's create a cluster. In Azure Databricks portal, Go to compute tab, create compute, change cluster name. Okay, so first go to this from left sidebar, go to this compute tab. Now we will click on this create compute option. Now just copy this name. We will put it our cluster name. Copy and paste. Compute name means cluster name. Paste your cluster name. Policies unrestricted. Access mode, I don't know. Performance. Okay. In performance, we can select Databricks runtime environment as second last, which is we need to always use LTS. Okay. So which one we can use? 15.4 LTS would be fine. Just use 15.4 LTS. We need to uncheck this photon acceleration. Uncheck this. And inside this worker type, 16 GB 4 cores would be fine, but last time I was facing some error. So this time I will select different family group, which is D4 as V3 16 GB 4 cores. D4 D4S V3, this one. Standard D4S V3 16 GB 4 cores. D4S V3 16 GB 4 cores. Okay. And we need to check this single node because our database size is very small right now. So single node would work. Otherwise, in real world projects, we will create multiple nodes. Okay. And automatically terminate after 20 minutes of inactivity, not 120. Create compute. Then it will create our cluster. 15.4 LTS, D4 SV3, 16 GB 4 cores, 20 minutes, and this will be the name. Okay, everything looks fine. So just click on this create. Congrats everyone. So our cluster is created successfully. So see this green dot means cluster running. Okay, it takes around 5 to 10 minutes. So you need to be patient. Now Thor is asking that my raw data is stored in a data lake bronze container. Okay, so now I want to transform it in Databricks. But this data lake and Databricks are two different services. So how can they communicate with each other? Because for transforming the data in data lake, Databricks should have access of both read the data and write the data. Then only it can transform, right? So for this, we will need to perform these three steps. App registration, client secret, and role assignment. After performing these three steps, Databricks can successfully read and write data from data lake. so that it can transform it. Okay, so let's do that. First, we will create an app registration for Databricks. So just go to home page and search this Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, so we will go to home page and we will search Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, this one, this. Now from sidebar, just go to manage tab and select app registration, new registration. Manage tab here, then app registration, this one, and then click on new registration. After that, then give this name Airbnb OT project app. So give this name and then just register. Then just click register. Okay, so application is created. Now we need to store these credentials in Notepad. App ID, object ID, directory, tenant ID. Okay, so where is app ID? Okay, here this one. Application client ID, copy, and just like this you can also store it in your Notepad. Second is object ID, this one, object ID copied, then we can paste here, then directory or tenant ID, copy 98D, 98D. Okay, we have copied this data which will be required later. I will show you that. Now we will create a secret. Second step. Okay, so from left sidebar, manage tab, certificates and secrets. Manage tab, then where is certificate? Third one, this certificates and secret. Click on this new client secret plus button. Okay, then give this description, Airbnb OT project, then click on add and then copy the secret value and secret ID. Okay, just paste this description, click on add. Now where are the credentials? Value, secret value and secret ID. Okay, so just copy this value, save it as, so just paste it in your notepad, secret value. Okay, paste and paste the secret ID as well. Paste secret ID, 71D. Alright, so our second step is also completed. Now third step is we will assign a role to the application so that it can access data lake. Okay, so we will go to our storage account. From there we will assign this storage blob data contributor role to the Databricks, means application. Okay, this application which we have created is nothing but the identity of Databricks. So after assigning this role, Databricks can read and write the data from data lake. So let's do that. Home tab, storage account, access control. Okay. So home tab, resource group, go to your storage account. Then from this left sidebar, which option we need to select? Select access control, add role assignment. Okay, access control, this one. Click on this add button, add role assignment. Then we need to search this role, storage blob data contributor, select next. So just search storage blob data contributor. This one, just select this and then click next. We are assigning this role to user group or service principal. Okay, so Databricks comes under this service principal. And then select members. Then we will select our app registration name, which we just have created in first step. Okay, register an application. That time we had given this name, so we will assign this role to this app name. So select members. What was our app name again? It was Airbnb OT project underscore app. So just copy it and paste and search this one. Okay, this was the application name which we created earlier. Select it. This is nothing but a Databricks. Okay, you can just consider it as Databricks. So it is application means identity of Databricks. Okay, it is representing the Databricks console. We assign this permission to, sorry, we assign this role to this application means we are assigning role to Databricks only, so that it can read and write data from this data lake storage account from bronze container. Okay, that's why we are assigning this storage blob data contributor role to our Databricks. So select review plus assign, review plus assign, review plus assign, and review plus assign. So role assignment is added. Now Thor is asking, can I start working with Databricks now? So answer is yes. Just we need to create folder. Inside that folder we will create notebook. Then we will turn on the cluster which we created earlier. Okay. I know we are doing too much preparation, but these are required. Okay. At the end you will feel satisfied once your notebook runs, and once you transform the data you will feel very satisfied. So don't worry about that. So go to this Databricks console. See, our cluster was automatically terminated after 20 minutes of inactivity. So go to our workspace. Okay, let me check the steps. Create folder and notebook in Databricks workspace. So inside workspace, launch workspace, go to workspace, and then right corner create folder and this name. So just copy this folder name. So right side means here create folder, folder name would be this, and then just create Airbnb OT means open train project. So we are inside our folder now. Now what within the folder, we will click on new notebook and the rename the notebook as silver. We can write container, silver container, silver container notebook, we can say silver container notebook. So just copy this name. So click on create notebook. Okay, and from here click on this tab. Here we can rename our notebook. So just control V. Okay, silver container notebook. So inside this notebook we will write our PySpark code. So we will transform our data and read, and we will write it in the silver container. First we will read it from bronze container. Okay, so now my cluster is off, so I need to turn it on again. Where is, actually we can create duplicate tab just for to turn on the cluster. So our notebook will run in this tab, and inside from this tab we will just check our cluster. So go to compute option here. See, if your cluster is turned on, if your cluster is running, then only it will appear in this list. Okay, otherwise it will not appear. It will just show this serverless cluster which we don't have to use. So our cluster name should appear in this list, and then after that we need to connect. But before that our cluster should be turned on. So just click on this start. It will take around 5 to 10 minutes to start this cluster. So now our cluster is running. Now we need to connect our notebook to this cluster. Just click on this connect option and click on your cluster name. And now it is connected. So cluster is connected now. And here I am explaining that if your cluster is not visible, then you need to go to compute tab and turn on the cluster, then it will be visible in this option. Now here I am just explaining. So Thor is asking, how can I give heading in Databricks notebook? So I will show you. Just write this %md. After that, if you want to give h1 heading, then give 1 hash and your text. If you want to give h2 heading, then give 2 hash and your text. If you want to give h3 heading, then 3 hash and your text. So now we can give one heading. Let's say which heading we can give. Use your service principal app registration. Okay, this heading we will give. Use your app registration credentials. That I will write here. So first you have to write %md, then click enter. Then I want to give h3 heading. Okay, h3. Then I will have to give 3 hashes, 1 2 3 space, and whatever you have to type. So now I want to type use your app registration credentials, and then just click outside. Okay, see, heading is there. That's how you can give headings, h1 h2 heading or whatever you want. Now Thor is asking, my Databricks notebook is ready. Now can I start writing PySpark code? Answer is just one last step. Do you remember those 3 steps? App registration, client secret and role assignment, which you performed earlier. So now it is finally time to use those steps and connect our Databricks with Data Lake. After this, Databricks can easily read and write data from Data Lake. Okay. After completing this step, Databricks can read the data from raw data from bronze container and write it to the silver container of Data Lake. Okay. So just connect this app registration, client secret and role assignment. So just follow this step by step. Give h3 heading, connect Databricks to Data Lake. Okay, no worries. I will give this heading. So you know, %md, enter. I want to give h3 heading, so 3 hash space and just paste whatever you want to give, and then click outside. Now you can search this query on Google. Okay, this one, access data lake using Databricks, then you will get the proper link. Actually, I have also paste this link here, so we can just copy and open the code, copy, and we can paste here. Just click enter. Now scroll down, you will see Azure Service Principal. Let's check. Scroll down. We will see Azure Service Principal. But which box? This one or this one? So check this text. You can use spark.conf.set in notebooks. So this code block we have to copy. Spark.conf.set in notebooks. So this code, second box, we have to use. So just copy this code, copy and paste in our notebook. Control V. Just follow step by step. It is not that hard. Paste in cell. I have pasted it. Now remove first line, which is this. Okay. I will remove first line completely. Delete. Okay. Now it is saying instead of storage account, just go to home storage account, copy storage account name top left and paste. Okay, so instead of this storage account, we have to put our storage account name. So I have already pasted my storage account name in Notepad. So I will just copy this OT Airbnb Data Lake. This is my storage account name. If you haven't copied, then you can go to storage account and copy storage account name from top left corner. So let's paste our storage account name. So check first line. Here you can see storage account. So just instead of this, paste your storage account name. ADB wants to, okay, allow. Okay, OT Airbnb Data Lake. Check second line. Yes, storage account, paste your storage account name. Control V. Third line, storage account, paste your storage account name. Fourth line, storage account, paste your storage account name. Fifth line, instead of the storage account, paste your storage account name. All right. Now next, paste application ID which you have saved earlier in Notepad. So where is the application ID? This app ID. Okay, while registering an application from Microsoft Intra ID, that time we pasted this. So just copy this application ID and just paste it in that code. Check first line. Application ID is not present here. Check second line. Application ID is not present here as well. Third line, this one. Application ID is present here. So inside this double quotes, paste. Okay. Check fourth line. Application ID is not present. Check fifth line. Application ID is not present. Then paste directory ID or tenant ID. So copy your directory or tenant ID. Copy. Check first line. Directory space is not there. Check second line. Directory ID is not there. Check third line. Directory ID is not there. Check fourth line. Directory ID is not here. Check fifth line. Here I can see directory ID. So instead of this directory ID, just paste your directory or tenant ID. Paste 98D 98D. It is correct. Okay. Directory ID, paste service credentials, secret value, paste it inside double quotes. Okay. Now we will paste secret value. This secret value. Just copy secret value Z as key and paste it instead of service credentials. Instead of this in double quotes. Okay. So service credential I can see here only. Oh, now inside double quotes I will just paste double quotes and just paste Z as K Z as K8Q. Yes, correct. Now we will just run the cell. If it doesn't throw any error, that means connection is successful. So I will just run this cell. Click on this run cell button. Okay. As you can see, this green tick is there. That means connection is successful. Connection between Databricks and Data Lake is successful here. Now Thor is very exhausted. He is saying, bro, you are doing too much of preparation. Now can I finally write PySpark code inside my notebook? Now the answer is absolutely yes. So let's do that. So in this code, we are just importing this PySpark.sql.functions means we are importing built-in functions, and PySpark SQL.types means we are importing built-in types, okay, which are useful to manipulate data. And using these types, it can automatically infer the types of the raw CSV files. Okay, we do not need to explicitly tell the types. This PySpark code will automatically understand its types. So for this, we need to import this as well. So just do that. And yeah, one more thing, these three codes means comments. Okay, if you want to give multi-line comments, you use this three quotes. Otherwise you can just use hash for single line codes. So just copy and we can paste finally in our notebook. Control V, and it is successful. And one more thing I want to tell you, that we are not going to perform much transformations. We will just read our Airbnb dataset from bronze container and we will just write it to the silver container in data lake in Parquet format. That's it. We are not going to perform any extra transformations because this project is focused more on showing end-to-end data engineering project steps. I will create separate project for just for PySpark transformations, okay? But in this project, in this video, we will just read the data set and write it to the different container, which is silver container in Parquet format. That's it. So first we will read the Airbnb dataset from bronze container. So let's understand this code. So till this, it's just comment. From here our code will start. So basically we are loading our raw CSV file into a Spark data frame df_air. So what is this Spark dot read? This Spark is Spark session. Okay, it is using Spark session to read the data into a data frame. Then this format.csv means we are telling Spark that the file format is CSV. This option.header means we are telling Spark that first row is a First row of the table is column name means heading. Okay. First row is heading, not values. So header true. Now this infer schema dot option infer schema means we are telling Spark to automatically infer the types, detect the types, data types. And this load means inside this we will give the path of our URL of our raw data from bronze container. So this is specific kind of format which we use in PySpark. So this you have to write always. This bronze means you have to write your container name where your raw data is present. Okay, from where you want to just read that container name you need to give. This OT Airbnb data lake means this is our storage account name. Okay, we have used it many times. I have written in my notepad as well. OT Airbnb data lake is my storage account name. And this is common in all the file path. And last, this Airbnb is my folder name inside this bronze container. Okay, Airbnb is my folder name inside container. So just copy this code and paste it in your notebook. Just create a new cell and just paste your code. Now this code will load our raw data into Spark data frame, which is df underscore air. See, this is successful. Now our Spark data frame is created. Now we can use any transformation on this data frame. We have successfully converted our raw CSV format into Spark data frame using this code. Now that we have created Airbnb data frame, which is df underscore air, it's time to read it, how it looks. Okay. So it will, I think, show 5 to 10 rows for this data frame. So just do that. Copy and paste. Just type Control V and run this cell. It will show 5 to 10 rows. How many rows? Whoa, 20 rows. Okay, that means it can now successfully read this data frame. Okay, we have successfully read the raw data from bronze container. Now we will write it into a silver container in our data lake, that too in Parquet format and not CSV format. So just understand this code. This df here is our data frame. Dot write means it will start the write API in Spark. In which format you want to write? In Parquet format. Tells the Spark to save the data in Parquet format. Mode is append means if any other data is already present there, then it will just append it below. Okay, in that same file it will append this current data, tells how Spark should behave if data is already present in target path. Okay, so in this dot option means we will specify the output location in our Azure Data Lake, which we already know, which is silver container. Okay, our raw data is present from bronze container. We have loaded it, we have read it, and now we will write in silver container. So we will specify the path, and dot save means it will specify the write operation, means it will save the data in bronze container. And you already know this format. This is common in all the path. This is the name of the container where you want to write your data. Okay, transform data where you want to write in silver container. This is your storage account name. This is common in all the path. And this last one is the folder name in which you want to write your data. I will keep it same. I will keep it Airbnb as it is. And now it's time to copy paste. Copy. It's too long. And we will paste in this cell. Control V. Now our transform Airbnb dataset will be written in this silver container, in this Airbnb folder in packet format. In which mode? Append mode. Okay, just run it. As you can see, it is successful. Now I just want to check my silver container in data lake whether the transform data is present there or not. So just go in our storage account. This is my storage account name. Okay, so for container we will go to storage, data storage, go to container, and inside this silver container my transform data should be present in packet format. See, this folder Airbnb is correct. Inside this my transform data is present. Okay, so that means we have successfully written the transform data in silver container from this bronze container, which was the raw data in CSV format. So one more thing I want to explain you. So see, in silver container we have our transform data, right, in packet format. So if you go to this silver container, we have too many files. See, in this folder we have too many files. So which one is our data set? Actually, if you observe this long file names, part 0, part 1 and part 2, these are our transform data in packet format. But why these are 3 files? Why not single file? Because our Airbnb data frame was large, so by default Spark converted it into 3 different partitions. That's how Spark works. Like, it works parallelly. It has split our large file into 3 different packet files. So don't worry, in the background it will handle it as one data set. Okay, even though in silver container we have 3 different files, but in the background it will handle it as one dataset, so no need to worry. Now Thor is asking, you have transformed your data in silver container in packet format. Okay, I have just showed you 5 minutes ago, but how can I query like we query data in DBMS? like MySQL. Okay. Also, I want to use it for creating Power BI reports. So for this, we will create our Azure Synapse Analytics workspace. Okay. So inside analytics, we can do all of these things. So let's create our workspace first. In homepage, create resource, Synapse Analytics, create. This is my homepage, create resource. Search Synapse Analytics. So this is the first one, Azure Synapse Analytics. Now click on create Azure Synapse Analytics. Then we need to select our resource group, which is Airbnb project, and managed resource group name would be, we can keep it anything like RG managed often BNB Synapse 1. Okay, just give it any name. Copy paste. All right, and then workspace name would be often train Airbnb Synapse 1. Paste. And region, actually in this region there are more chances of getting error because everyone creates here only. So we will select different one, which is East US. Let's say West US 2. Okay, West US 2 will be the region. I haven't written the region here. No worries, I will quickly write it down right now. Region equal to US West. US West 2. Okay. Now select Data Lake Storage Gen 2 from subscription. Yes, already from subscription is selected. Now account name would be create new. Okay. We have to create one. So click on create new. Give this name OT default Synapse 1. Oh my god, I have done cut instead of copy. No worries. Control Z. Copy, not cut. Paste. Okay. Okay. File system, create new and give this name. Create new default file system 1. Okay. Then keep everything as it is and click on next security. Authentication method, use both local and Microsoft Intra ID authentication. Authentication method is already selected. Use both local and Microsoft Intra ID. Now this SQL Server admin login I need to store in Notepad because it will be required at the time of when we will connect our Synapse with Power BI. That time this login and password will be required. So we will need to store it. So we will store this admin and password in Notepad. So what will be my admin login? SQL admin user Airbnb. What will be my password? Your password cannot contain all part of the login name. Okay. Login name and password should be different. The Airbnb. Okay, I'll change it. So our password is accepted now. Now what? Next, networking. Next, networking. Manage virtual network disable. So we will disable this manage virtual already disabled. Allow connection from all IP address tick. Allow connection from all IP address is already ticked. Next tags review plus create. Next tags review plus create. Validation succeeded. So click on create. So it took around 5 minutes, but my Synapse workspace has been created successfully. Okay. Now go to resource group. Click on the Synapse Analytics workspace and open Synapse Studio. Click on our Synapse workspace, this one, and then we will just open Synapse Studio. Open Synapse Studio, this one. Click on open. All right. Now Thor is asking, I know that you have stored your transform data in Silver container in Azure Data Lake storage. But how can Synapse can directly access that data which is present inside your data lake, Azure Data Lake storage Gen 2? How can Synapse directly access it? Answer is, we will give storage blob data contributor role to Synapse. After that, it can definitely access that data. So let's do that. Go to your storage account, workspace. That will be, go to home page first, then your resource group. This is not the resource group though. Airbnb's project. This is your resource group. Where is your storage account? Not this one which we just created for Synapse. Don't use this one. Our old storage data lake where our data is transformed data is present. OT Airbnb data lake. Then from here we will go to access control IAM. We will go to access control IAM. Then we will click on add role assignment, storage blob data contributor. Click on add role assignment. Then search storage blob data contributor. Just select it. Next. Assign access to. See, this Synapse Analytics is a managed identity. Okay, it comes under this managed identity category. So we will need to select this time. Okay. Select managed identity. Then select members, Synapse workspace, Synapse workspace name, review plus assign. Click on select members. Managed identity. Okay. Inside managed identity, you have to select your Synapse workspace. Your Synapse workspace NAME name. Okay. So here we will select our Synapse workspace name. Synapse workspace, and this is our Synapse workspace name. Select it. Select review plus assign, review plus assign, and that role will be assigned to Synapse workspace now. Azure Blob Data Contributor. Now it can read and write data from your data lake inside silver container. Now Thor is asking, I know that in Synapse we store table, views, store procedures and functions inside schema folder, but we have multiple schema folders. So is there any topmost container to store all those schema folders? Yes, it's a database. We can create a database which will act as a topmost container. Okay. So do that. Resource group, Synapse Analytics Workspace, Synapse Studio, Develop tab, left pane, third icon. This is our Synapse Workspace, Synapse Studio. This is Develop tab, third icon. Click on plus create SQL script. Plus create SQL script. Then create a database. Now go to data tab, left pane, second icon. Alright, we will go to data tab, which is second icon. Create plus SQL database. Okay, where is create? Where is create? Okay, I think this plus icon. Yes, exactly. SQL database, serverless, and database name would be SQL database serverless. Database name would be this often trained Airbnb database. paste. Now just click on create and use your database from top bar. Click on create. And then inside from this top bar we have used database option. Just click here and select your database. Now Thor is asking, do you remember from our data storage lake account we had given storage blob data contributor role to our Synapse workspace just now, okay? So now Synapse has access to our data lake. But Synapse will not be querying your data. You will query data, right? You will write those SQL queries and then Synapse will bring you that data. This Synapse will fetch that data, but who will write queries? You. You are the one who will write queries. So you means user. That means you also need one role, right? You also need storage blob data contributor role for querying the data. Observe here. This is your data lake and this is your Synapse workspace. So Synapse will read and write data from data lake. So we have given storage blob data contributor role to Synapse workspace. But user will also query the data. So that means user also need storage blob data contributor role, okay, from storage account. So we will do that. Go to your storage account, IAM, add role assignment, search for this role and then assign to user because now we are assigning to user, okay? Then member will be your email ID, your user account, okay? Then select review plus assign. Now this is our storage account OT Airbnb data lake. This is our storage account where our data is stored. Now we are in the access control tab, add role assignment. Search for this storage blob data contributor role. Select next. Now we are assigning role to user. When we were assigning role to Synapse, that time we had selected managed identity, but now we are assigning to user. So keep this selected and member would be your email address. Okay, this one of 198. Select this and just review plus assign. Review plus assign. So this role has been created successfully. Now Thor is asking, you have assigned role to both Synapse workspace and user. So preparation part is done, but how can we test whether Synapse can access the data from data lake or not? So for this we have one function called open row set. Using this function it can directly query the data from data lake. So our test will also perform whether it can access the data or not. So let's do that. Use open row set. It can query the data residing in data lake. That too in table format. Okay. So that's why it's very powerful function. So for this we will need the URL of our files in data lake. So just go to storage account container silver Airbnb. We are in our storage account only. So we will go for containers. We will go to data storage, containers, and then we will click on silver. So this folder, we have to get the address of this folder. See this part 1, part 0, part 1, part 2. These are our packet files which we had transformed earlier. Okay. So yesterday I had explained you that our Airbnb data set was huge. So PySpark partitioned it into 3 files, but behind the scenes it will act like only one data set, so you don't need to worry. And how can we get the URL of this folder? Within the within these 3 packet files, just click on these 3 dots and then copy URL. Okay, and then we will need to modify that URL. So we will like paste it in the end, and then paste here. I don't know if it is visible or not, but I will try my best to show it to you. See, this is full URL of that packet file, but we have to keep it till folder name only, till there, till here, Airbnb. I have mentioned in my notes as well that click on 3 dots, properties, copy URL. You don't have to paste the whole URL, just keep till folder name. And then we will replace the blob with DFS. Okay, so let's modify that. Keep it till Airbnb folder name only, and replace this blob with DFS. This is the URL which we will use in open row set function. Okay, so now Thor is asking, am I finally ready to validate the data using open row set function? Validate the data means whether the Synapse can access the data from data lake or not. So inside our Synapse workspace, just write this open row set function. So first let's understand it. This is comment, okay, star and backslash. So select star means return all the rows and columns from the mentioned database dataset, not dataset, data frame, I think. Okay, whatever it is, just continue. From open row set function means it lets you read the file stored in data lake. Bulk means inside bulk we will specify the location of the folder. Format means we are telling Synapse file type in that silver container. Okay, using this we are telling Synapse that format which is stored in silver container is Parquet. And as query one, this is just alias which is required because open row set is a virtual table, right? So we just need to rename it. It will be stored in the memory result. Okay, so result will be stored in the memory. So for that virtual table we will need to alias it. It is compulsory. So can we just copy paste now? Sure, why not? We have this SQL script one which we created earlier. So here we will paste it directly. This is the advantage of these nodes, brother. If you have these nodes, you can just copy paste and save a lot of time. Okay. And copy pasting is not a bad thing. Just you just need to understand the code. Once you understand, you can definitely copy paste. That's why whenever I write any code in my notes, so I always mention the comments. Inside that comments, I explain each and every line. Control V. Okay. So this, I don't know this is correct or not. I will just validate one more time. So I will copy there and I will then validate one by one. I will paste here only. Control V and let's check the path now. HTTPS, OT, Airbnb, Data Lake. This is your storage account name by the way. And DFS, Core, Window, Net, Silver, Airbnb. Our file path is exactly correct. Why it is showing this? What? Okay, that red line is gone now. Okay, so we have now we need to run this code. Inside the result, we should see this data frames. Okay, which is present inside this file path. That means we will understand that the connection between Synapse and Data Lake is successful. But for this, we must get the results here. Retrieving query results. All right, we have our data frame in table format. So that is the indication that the role which we have created for our Synapse and user are successfully working because Synapse and user both can now successfully read and write the data from data lake. And this test is all possible because of this open row set function. Okay. So that means this is working now. Now Thor is asking, I know that in Synapse we will create many database objects like table, views, stored procedures and functions. But this will be very messy, right? So for better management, can we put all these database objects in some folder or container? Answer is yes. We will create a schema folder where we will keep all these database objects. Okay. Inside that schema folder, all these table views, stored procedures and functions will be present. So just do that. We will create a schema. Rename the script where we validated using open row set. Okay. Inside that same script we will create only. So how we will rename? Create schema. Okay. So we will rename this here. Create schema. And then we can just simply remove this code. Control A, delete. Because we have already tested, right? So there is no need to keep it. Now we can write the code for schema. Create schema means this command will create a schema. Gold means this is the name of your schema. This is like a gold layer, that's why we are naming our schema to gold. Control V. Now just run it. Executing query executed successfully. That means your schema is also created. Okay, gold schema is now created. Now Thor is asking, I want to create a Power BI reports and we have transform data in our silver container in data lake. So can I directly connect that silver container to my Power BI? Answer is no. Actually, we can connect that silver container to directly to our Power BI, but it contains lot of technical data. I know it is transformed. We have transformed it using Spark, but still it has many technical data like ID, and the names are also raw. It contains raw names, and my Power BI developers in my company will get confused. Okay, they will definitely mess it up. So do not do this. Instead of this, we can create views and expose only required columns to them. Okay, we can create views and we will just expose the only required necessary columns, and then Power BI developers will easily understand it. Bro, but what is view? You are giving me solution that you create views, but what is view? I don't know it. So answer is, it is just a saved SQL query which will fetch the data from external data sources like Azure Data Lake. Understood? It is just a saved SQL query and it can extract the data. It can fetch the data from any external data sources like Hadoop or Azure Data Lake. So that's what we will do. We will create views. Views are just like SQL queries. You can check this diagram in the right hand side. These are our views and it is not actually store the data in Synapse. It will fetch the data from data lake and it will show you the result. That is the advantage of views. Okay, we are saving the storage cost, because if we save the data in Synapse, it will cost you a lot, and data storing data in data lake is affordable as compared to that. So using this view, we can directly fetch the data from data lake, and this will views will give you data in, it will show you output in table format. So it is directly acting as MySQL workbench. Okay, so let's do that. Create another script for views. We will create views in gold container. So in develop tab, click on three dots in front of SQL script title and SQL script. We are already not already. We just go to develop tab, and in front of this SQL script, click on these three dots, new SQL script, and what we will name it? We will name it create views gold. And we can give this name here. SQL script name should start and end with letter, number or underscores. Okay, oh, got it. Create underscore views underscore gold. Is that fine? Yes, it is fine now. So here also I will update. Create close property box, not close, hide. We cannot close it. And we will select our database name and we will start writing our view script. So I will just hide this. Use database master, but we need to select our own database which we created. it is the topmost container, we know it. So all this schema and view should be created inside this topmost container, which is our database, often trained Airbnb database. So we will write the view now. So before copy pasting, we will understand this code. Okay. So we are creating a view called, the name of the view will be gold.airbnb, and gold is our schema name. Okay. Inside gold schema, we are creating this Airbnb view. And we are selecting all the columns. Okay, we are inside this view, we will select all the rows and all the columns from this packet file, which is stored in silver container in this storage account. Create view gold.airbnb, this is our view name. View does not save the data, just saves the definition of the query, I know that. Add select star means define what the view will return when someone queries gold dot, not calendar, gold dot airbnb. Okay, so in this case it will select all the columns. What is this open row set? Open row set will read the data directly from data lake in silver container bulk. Inside this bulk we will specify our address of the file path for which we are creating this view. Okay, and as QUER1 means this is just a alias, it will give a temporary alias so that SQL can handle it. Okay, this alias is compulsory. Okay, so we are creating this gold.airbnb view, and inside this view will return the result of this whole query. We already know open row set. Okay, and this is our path of our silver container. If you want, I can show you one more time how you can get this path. This is silver container. Yes, go to this Airbnb data lake, sorry, Airbnb folder, and just click on three dots of any packet files and copy URL, and then you can just paste the URL here, and then we will keep the URL till this folder name only. Okay, so this becomes our URL now, which we will specify inside bulk. So just copy this, create view Airbnb, copy, Control V, and I will paste the path URL of that Airbnb folder one more time. Copy, paste, and just check it. HTTPS OT Airbnb data lake. This is our storage account name, and blob core Windows net silver Airbnb. Yes, exactly. Okay, so we have created views for this Airbnb folder in silver container. So I will just run it. Select the view one by one. We have only one view, brother. We don't need to select one by one. We will just select that one view and we will run it and run. Exactly. Select this and run. I hope this will get executed. Query executed successfully. Congratulations. And now we can just publish all. Okay, after publishing we will test. Publish all. We will publish our schema and view. Okay, it is published. Now Thor is asking, bro, you have created views, that is all right, but how you can test whether it is working completely or not, fine or not? Okay, so I will test any one view, and if that works, that means our database plus schema plus view are properly set up. That means now my data lake data is queryable with SQL without touching long file formats, long file path. So if you want to query this packet files inside this Airbnb container in silver container, then we will not use open row set and all now. Like this we will not use, we will just use this gold.airbnb and we will already get the result. Select start from gold.airbnb, simple. So just copy it, and if that works, that means our view is successfully created. Control V. It should give us the result. That too in the table format, because while creating view we have used open row set function. So it should return the result in table format. Exactly. It is returning the result in table format, brother. That's all right. That means our view is successfully created and working. Now Thor is asking, last time I had connected views in Synapse and connected them with Power BI for dashboards and reports. Okay, so the view which we just have created in Synapse, that views I had connected directly with Power BI for dashboards and reports. But he faced one issue. It was taking a lot of time. Every time he's trying to refresh the Power BI, because it is common sense that we will daily refresh our Power BI report, right? It's very common. That's why we create our reports, so that we can view the results every day. We can view the analytics every day. But every time he was doing a Power BI refresh, it was taking a lot of time for the refresh. It was very slow. So what is the reason for that? Answer is because if you connect the views with Power BI, under the hood many things happens. Like first, Synapse views uses open row set function under the hood, and it will treat the data from data lake in bucket format. After that it will parse and infer the schema. Infer the schema means understand the data type of the schema. And third, it will apply the filter, join, etc., which you have applied in views for analytics purpose. We all know that in views we will use our business logics, right? We will use business logics and aggregations which are required for analytics. So third, it will apply that filter joins. And fourth step would be then it will return the result to Power BI. So all of this happens when you are trying to refresh the Power BI report daily. That's why it is slow. Then what is the solution on this? If we are connecting views to Power BI and if it is slow, then what is the solution? Solution is, if there are some tables, important tables like sales, orders, which many Power BI teams inside your company which are frequently used tables in Power BI reports, which many teams in your company are using daily. Okay. So for this, for those tables, for those important tables like sales and orders, we can create external table for this, and we will store those external table in gold container in our data lake. Understood? I will repeat one more time. If there are some important tables which my analytics team is using regularly, like sales table, orders table, okay, these tables are daily used in Power BI reports. So for these tables, I will create external table and store it in my gold container. So now what happens? Now Power BI reports are not using views. Power BI reports are using these tables. So because of this, it will refresh faster. Earlier because of views it was slow. Now because of external tables, it will be faster. If you know, if you don't know what is external table, then I will tell you that it will read the data from external data sources like Azure Data Lake, Hadoop, and write them in Azure Data Lake, just like we are writing right now in gold container. Okay. So external table will read the data from data lake and it will write the result in gold container of our data lake. Now Power BI refresh time will be much faster. Okay. So that is the use of external tables. If there are some important tables which your Power BI team is regularly using for the refresh, then you must use external table instead of views. Okay. They are much faster than views. So now it's time to create external tables. But before that, there is some preparation. There is some hard work which you need to perform. First, we will create credentials, then we will create external data source, then we will create external file format. So before that, just create new resource and script so that we can perform all of this and create our external table. So click on this plus icon in add new resource icon in front of develop. So it is our develop. So we need to click here and new resource SQL script and give this name create external table. I know it will not allow this, so we will use underscore here. Create external table, copy, paste. That's it. Now you can hide this property box. Again, you need to use database because it is our topmost container. Use database. Why it is hanging? Okay, we have used our database now. Before creating credentials, Thor is asking one question that when we connect Synapse to external storage like Azure Data Lake, like we are doing just now, So that time we will use many secrets. Secrets means nothing but passwords. So if we are creating too many secrets, then how will you securely store and encrypt them? Otherwise, they will get hacked. So how will you encrypt those secrets, encrypt those passwords? So the answer is we will create a master key before creating any credential. So that master key will be used for the encryption of those secrets. So let's quickly do that. If you simply search create master key in SQL on Google, then you need to open this link. Okay, then inside that link we will basically get this code. So from this code we just have to remove the square brackets and write our own password. Okay, and then we need to run this code so that our master key will be created. So this dash dash is nothing but comment. So to save some time we will not go here and all, but we will directly copy paste the code. That's why I have created these notes so that our time is saved. Then I will just paste it here. I always forget, bro. We cannot paste it. We just need to type Control V here. Manually we cannot paste. Your own password. What will be my password? So I will use this password for my master key, Hella Optimus at the rate 123. Control V. Hello Optimus at the rate 123, and we now just need to run our query. So it creates a database master key and password will be used to encrypt the credentials. So just select and run. Query executed successfully. Now we can remove it. Control A, backspace. Now it's finally time to perform our first step, which was creating a credential. Okay. But Thor is very clever. He is asking, you are creating credential, but why you are creating credential? Just tell me. So let's say Synapse needs a way to authenticate. Okay. Synapse is reading or writing in your files in your silver container, but Synapse will need a way to authenticate before reading or writing that files in your data lake. So for this authentication only we are creating these credentials and we will use it. And that is called scoped credential, database scoped credential. Okay. So if you want to get this code on the Google, you can just search this create scoped credential, then you will open this link and then you will get this code. But again, you have to remove all the square brackets. You have to remove this secret and replace your own credential name and your own identity name. So here you will write your own credential. So our code will become like this. Create database scope credential, then you can write your own credential, and with identity equal to you will have to also write this managed identity only, because Synapse is a managed identity. It wants to authenticate with your data lake, so we will tell that identity is managed identity. It's not a user group or anything else. It is a managed identity. So just copy paste this code and create your credential quickly. Create your database scoped credential. Just run this grade often train. I will also write database scope credential is grade often train. It's a good it's a good practice to always save your credentials, cloud credentials in Notepad so that you will get it quickly. So now we have created our database scoped credential. Uh, I have run it or not? I forgot. I will run one more time. Query completed with errors. Credential with name is already exist. That means I had run it. Now Thor is asking, for external table, we will read data from silver container and we will write the data in gold container of your data lake. But how will Synapse know what is the address or the URL of these two containers in your data lake? How will Synapse know this? And how it will know which credentials you are using or you have created? How it will know? So for this purpose, we will create two data sources. So that these two data sources will give answer to all your questions. First data source for silver container, it will have location or URL of your silver container. Second data source is gold container, it will have location or URL of your gold container. Okay, that's why we need to create these two data sources so that we will use these data sources while creating external table. So this is the code, but let's understand it first. Create external data source silver. Okay, this is the name of your first data source, and then just within this location you have to provide the address of the silver container. That's it, not that hard. And yeah, one more, you will also pass your credential because Thor is also asking which credentials you will use. So we need to answer the Thor questions, right? He's very clever guy, clever student. So as a teacher, we must answer his questions. So that's why we are giving credential as well. This credential which we just have created, this one, database scope credential. Okay. So same one data source we will create for silver. We will provide the location and credential for that. And one data source we will create for gold container. We will provide the location of the gold container and credential. This is our storage account. This is our storage account name. Okay. So enough understanding. Now our favorite thing, just copy paste till here. Okay. Then we will just run it. So first we are creating for data source for silver container. So just enter. Okay, so this data source is for silver container and it is the address of that container. I have explained you many times how to get the address. So you need to carefully watch my video. I have explained it twice. Just copy the URL of any Parquet file and then Just keep it till the folder name. Run. Data source for silver container is ready. Now we will create the data source for gold container. Okay, so our data source for gold container is also ready now. Executed successfully. All right. Now Thor is asking, Synapse will read data from data lake. But how will Synapse know the file format which it wants to read? Okay. Let me tell you one thing, Synapse is not that clever. Even though it has all the permissions and all to read that data, reach to that data, still it does not understand the file format. We have to tell it explicitly. That's why we are creating all these variables, all these objects which we will use while creating external table. So we will create one more object called external file format, and we will tell you that will tell information about the file format. Okay, so if you want to gain this code, search this on Google external file format and then search for compression on that page. The link is this, but I will not waste much time and I will quickly create the external file format for our external table. So let's understand the code. This will create an external file format. This is the name of our external file format which we will use later. We will pass this to the while creating external table. That time we will use this name. And we are telling the format is packet and the data compression is this snappy codec. Okay. So let's copy this. Paste it here below. Select and run. File format. External file format should be created now. Executed successfully. Now finally, after all this hard work, it's finally time to create an external tables. Okay, so let's quickly do that. First, understand this code. Create external table. This will create an external table. The name of the external table will be Airbnb external in this gold schema. Okay, it will be present in this gold schema. Now location is nothing but a folder inside that gold container. Okay, we are using data source as source gold, means this external table will be created in this gold container. Location will be this, means inside this gold container this folder called Airbnb external will be created. Okay, inside this folder our external table will be present. File format will be, we will just pass this external file format which we have created just now before this step. It will tell that file format is packet and compression which we will use is this one, snappy codec. So we will pass all this and then add select star from gold.airbnb, means using this external table we are storing the result of this view. Okay, This external table will store the result of this view gold.airbnb, because Power BI developers in my company uses this table a lot. They use this Airbnb table regularly. They refresh it daily, and it was taking a lot of time using views. So that's why I have created this external table which will store the result of this view in table format. Sorry, it will not store in table format. We can query this and we will get the result in table format. In Data Lake, we are storing it in Parquet format. But this is no more just a view. We are materializing the result of this view. Okay. And instead of views, you will just connect this external table to our Power BI report. So now data analyst in my company will not face this problem of slow refresh. Okay, because we have created external table. If they are using sales table and returns table regularly, if these two tables are more important tables to them, then we would have created external table for sales table, or not sales table, sales view or returns view. Okay, but my company uses Airbnb table a lot, so I will create external table for this view. Enough explaining. Enough explanation. Now we need to just copy paste. Till here. Control V, and now we will try to execute this. Run. Okay, it is created successfully, but still we need to test it. Testing whether the external table is working or not. So we will just query like SQL. We will query this external table like SQL. Select star from gold dot Airbnb external. Copy. Control V. Now it should return the result of Airbnb. Data frame in tabular format. If it is showing the result, then we will understand that our external table is created successfully. Okay, it is working as expected. Now we will check that this external table is present or not. So before this we need to publish our results. Or we can check the external table first and then we will publish. Or no worries, we will publish now only. Okay, it is published successfully. We will just collapse this. So now we will check this Airbnb external table, Airbnb external external table is created or not. In this gold container, in this Airbnb external folder, in packet format, it is created or not. We will check that quickly. Airbnb. What? We need to check in gold container, not silver container. So go to home page. Where is our resource? No, this, not this, man. Airbnb project resource group, storage. OT Airbnb data lake storage account. Data storage containers. Now in the gold container, our external table should be visible to us. See, this folder is there, and inside this folder, our external table is present in packet format. Okay. Now we are at the last phase of our project. Thor is asking, now my Synapse database is ready. Now I want to create visualizations in Power BI. How will Synapse connect with Power BI? So answer is, we will get the SQL endpoint which will connect the Power BI and Synapse. So SQL endpoint is the answer. So from where we will get it? So let's get them. Open your home page, go to Synapse Workspace, Overview. This is your Synapse Studio, but we need to go to the Synapse Workspace. So go to home page, go to your resource group, which is Airbnb project. Now go to your Synapse Workspace, which is this Authentication Airbnb Synapse 1. Now go to Overview tab. Now he is saying that Overview tab at left pane. So in the serverless SQL endpoint option, we will get it. So where is serverless SQL endpoint? This one. Okay, we got it. Serverless SQL endpoint. So we need to copy this endpoint, and we need to store this endpoint in the our notebook, our notepad. Save. All right. Now we have copied our SQL endpoint. Now you need to do one thing. On Google, just search download Power BI desktop, and you need to download it actually. I have already downloaded it, so I am not going to perform it again. And then you will just open the Power BI desktop and open the blank report. Okay, like this. You need to open blank report. And now we will actually connect our Synapse Analytics workspace to this Power BI so that we can create interactive visualizations and reports. So click on Get Data, More, Azure, Azure Synapse and Analytics SQL. So click on this get data option available at top bar. Then click on more. Then you need to search Azure Analytics Workspace SQL, something like that. Azure Synapse Analytics SQL. Okay, this one. Let me check again. Azure Synapse Analytics SQL connect. Okay, this one. Azure Synapse Analytics SQL, and then click on connect. Then you need to paste your SQL endpoint, but where, in server or in database? So let's check that. In server, you need to paste SQL endpoint. So this is serverless SQL endpoint. This one is your endpoint, so you need to paste it. Copy. Just paste in the SQL, in server. Database is optional. Data connectivity mode is import, and then OK. Let me check one more time. Data connectivity mode import, and then OK. And then if okay, first let's do this. Okay. All right. Now if it asks for the credentials, which it did, it is asking for credentials, then you need to then first select database credentials option from left pane. Not database credential, just select database option. I have done. When we create Synapse Analytics Workspace, we entered admin, often train, and password. So use those same credentials. So I will show you. See, when we were creating Synapse Analytics Workspace, that time we created this SQL Server admin login and SQL password. Okay. That is why I always tell you to store your credentials at this notepad file, so that whenever you need it, you will get it very quickly instead of just going in Azure and then finding it. Okay. So now I will enter it. SQL Server admin login is this. Copy, paste it in the username, and password is this. Paste it in the password Brock Airbnb at the rate 123. Password. Okay. Now after clicking on this connect, it should connect your Power BI to Synapse Workspace so that you get access to all the views and all the external tables. Connect. All right. Congratulations to all of you. Your Power BI is now connected to Synapse Workspace. Okay. So you have successfully connected your data engineering pipeline to Power BI. Now, data analysts in your company can easily create dashboards and reports. You have done your part. But in this project, we will only create visualizations for them as a gift. So now just click on this database name, often train Airbnb database. See, this was the external table which we created. Gold.airbnb external. Okay, we have our external table and we have our views as well. Gold.airbnb is our view. But they were facing issue while refreshing Power BI in the morning every day. It was refresh was very slow. That's why we connected this external table so that they do not face that issue. Power BI will refresh very quickly using this external table. Okay, now go to database folder and select gold.airbnb external. Now just load it. So we will load, don't click on it, it will preview but not select. Click on this white box. Now it is selected and click on load. Now we will load our external table in the Power BI. So it will appear in the right hand side somewhere here. There were too many rows, that's why it's taking some time, but it will load, no worries. Wow, 86,000 rows were there. See, it is successful. Your data is now present in this right hand side data pane with each and every columns. Now I will just show you 2-3 visualizations for sample. Later you can add any number of visualizations which you want. So let's quickly do that. Stack bar chart, y-axis equal to CT. This is very stacked bar chart. This one. And then y-axis equal to CT. X-axis equal to count of listing number. All right. Now it is showing count of listing by city. So we have most listing in Sydney. Now second, we will just show card and count of sales value we can show. So click outside and then enter this card. Where is card? Yeah, this one. Make it small. Now in these fields, we can add sales. And we don't need first sale, we need count of sales. So in summarization, just select count. Okay, so we have 86,000 count of sales. Now third one is stack column chart. Enter that stacked column chart. So what will you show here? X-axis equal to city, Y-axis equal to count of sales. X-axis equal to just bring city. In Y-axis we have count of sales. Okay, but these are too many cities. Let's say I just need for 5 city, top 5 city with most sales. Filter it with top 5 city by sales. How can we do that? So in the filter pane we have this city field. Okay, click on this. Now filter type just change to top and write 5, and by value means we need top 5 city by value of sales. So just drag sales column here, then apply filter. What? Oh, sorry. By value I have entered first sales. I need by count of sales. So click here and select count of sales, and then now apply filter. Okay. So as of now we will just keep 3 visualizations. Later you can add any number of visualizations which you want. Anyway, this project was not for Power BI. This was for showing end-to-end operations in Azure Data Engineering project. Now Thor is asking, your project is completed. To stop the costs, how can I delete the entire project? Answer is just delete your whole resource group. So the services inside that resource group will also be deleted. So let's quickly do that. Home page, resource group, top bar, delete resource group. We are on our home page. Go to your resource group, not this one, Airbnb project. Go to this resource group. In top bar, delete resource group. Okay, so just click on it, copy, paste this resource group name and delete. Okay, now our resource group has been deleted. Okay, it took around 5 to 10 minutes. Now Thor is asking, is there anything pending now or everything is done? Answer is, you still need to delete the app registrations in Intra ID because it is not done through our resource group. When we delete our resource group, the app registrations doesn't get deleted. So we need to delete it manually. So no worries, it's just a matter of 2 minutes. Just search in home page, just search Intra ID, copy. So go to our home page, just search Microsoft Intra ID is already here. Okay, so just select this service. From left sidebar, select app registrations. Left sidebar, where is app registrations? Inside manage. Okay, manage tab. Okay, and from that manage tab select app registrations. app registrations, this one. Now all applications tab, click the app name. All applications, this tab you need to select, then click, this is your app registration, right? Click on this overview tab, delete. Overview tab, we are already on the overview tab. Now delete. Successfully deleted application Airbnb project app. Okay, now it is done.